research.
No. Listen, this is research. You're going to like this point. So
I'm ready.
College football. To this point in the season, okay, we are at October 14th. There have been 6 coaches who have already been fired in college football, FBS level. Brent Pry at Virginia Tech, Deshaun Foster at UCLA, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, Sam Pittman at Arkansas, James Franklin at Penn State, and the recent one, Trent Bray at Oregon State. Last year, okay, in 2024, 3 coaches were fired during the season. None of them had been fired by October 14th. None of them. The first one, ECU fired Mike Houston, and I think that was October 20th, right? In 2023, one FBS coach was fired during the season, and it was Mel Tucker, right? So there was all kinds of stuff going on with that situation. Now, there have been previous seasons where there have been a bunch of guys that have been whacked, in season, but never this early, right? And we see the numbers like, oh, wait a minute. And you know who I left off here? Trent Dilfer. Yep. That's 7 now because Trent Dilfer just got fired. So that's 7 coaches before October 15th. We are in, we know it, but like this is real confirmation. Like athletic directors are no longer in charge. They never really were because you're really only as powerful as your boosters allow you to be. But in a world now where that money matters more than ever, if a bunch of big time supporters of the program have a bug up their ass about a coach, and they say, hey, what's the buyout? Okay. Can we go ahead? Bum, bum, bum. Here you go. Here's $50 million. Me and JT, who owns Old Town Road over there. He and I are going in on it, $26 million apiece, whatever. Right. And it's not going to stop, I don't think, which is like super weird because, the inmates are now running the asylum. No offense, but like inmates being fans. And because these guys are fans, they're just super fans with a shitload of money. And without them, like you need fans, right? You need support. That's why we do media. That's why all of that is so important to sports in general, because we want fans to have access to players and coaches and organizations so they feel more invested and they'll go to games more, and or their viewing experience will be pleasurable. So all of that makes sense. Like fans, media, all that. I love it. It's all good. But like you can't have these guys basically coaching or running these programs because you're not giving the opportunity for coaches to establish themselves, right? Over 1, 2, 3 years. I think we were talking yesterday about Matt Rule, like when he came to Baylor, he eventually turned it around, but it took a minute or two. And James Franklin, in all fairness, in 2021, he went 7-6 and they extended him for 10 years. Like, I don't know. That's the other side, right? Like, so maybe I just destroyed my argument. Like, well, clearly the AD and the powers that be don't know what the hell they're doing either, because now you got to pay this guy $50 million. He definitely, there was ROI, as they like to say now. That's one of the buzz acronyms, right? Return on investment. That's what they call it in the business. What business? Who knows, right? But no, like he won, I think 10, then 11, then 13 games. But then he got fired because he couldn't win the big game. And truth be told, I've wrestled with that a little bit as somebody who thinks like they know a little bit about football. And I don't know. You got to win those games. You do. And if you don't, you get fired. And Penn State wants to be viewed as like a Georgia, as an Alabama, and if you're Ohio State, and if you're not winning those games, it had become more than any kind of coincidence, right? So I understand it. I don't understand it in the middle of the year, or maybe I do, because now more than ever, it's like, well, God forbid the guy turn this around and we have to keep his ass, which is exactly what this was about. firing James Franklin. But my overarching point is like, there is no more institutional integrity. It is crazy how, these guys with money, like my buddy Bart Smith, right? Bart is a crypto guy, all right? And he is like wildly successful. One of my best friends in the world, right? He's moved over to this company called Avalanche, right? There's a chance that Bart is one of the guys that's like calling shots as to like who's going to play quarterback at Vanderbilt soon, because that's where Bart went. And trust me, he will not shy away from the opportunity. And honestly, I feel pretty good about Bart being in charge because Bart knows football. Bart knows basketball. Like, honestly, Vanderbilt will be lucky if Bart Smith decided, hey, I am going to take my disposable income and I'm going to allocate much of it towards the Vanderbilt athletic department, and keeping going what we have now, and on the basketball side, elevating it. Like, Bart's as good as you'll get. Like, I don't think there are a lot of Bart Smiths out there. Really, I don't think half these guys know what the hell they're talking about. And when I say that, I mean boosters and stuff. So it's going to be the jury's still out, dude. Like, what's this going to do to college sports? You can't put everything in a goddamn microwave. Like, you can't do it with relationships. You can't do it with your performance at your job so you get a promotion. You can't do it with your money. I mean, like, wisely you can. You take some big swings on investments and stuff, but like, if you're going to tell me you're going to the Borgata in Atlantic City and betting on black, like, I think you're a schmuck. I've done it. It doesn't work, not with consistency. So that's my opening rant, and I just had to get that off my chest because it's scary what's happening in college football.